What's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do genuinely hope that, and welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel, where I reflect on what's been said about Chelsea, giving you my thoughts, feelings, opinions, musings on it, and more importantly, as always, more importantly, asking for yours. Of course, it is Tuesday, which means it's Athletic deal sheet day. Here it is. Oh, they're talking about Real Madrid today. There'll be a Chelsea section, which we are interested in, and we're going to dive into today. Of course, there's some horrible, grim, frightening stuff in here about Liverpool signing Alexander Isak potentially, so I'd make a wide berth of that. I'm going to take you through the Chelsea section, but if you dive in yourself, make sure you're wearing a hazmat suit as you navigate the Isak to Liverpool section. But we are speaking Chelsea, so strap yourselves in. Thank you as always for joining me. Thank you for the continued support here on the channel. Superb support as always. Everyone's welcome to subscribe. Falling off my chair. You can all be part of the gang, mate. Little reminder, might as well just get it in early. Guys, over 19,000 subscribers on the second channel, Football Yannick, where there is also daily content where I reflect on such harrowing stories like Isak to Liverpool, all the non-Chelsea big stories in world football. So if you want to support me, help me. It's so close. We're between 19 and 20k. I really want to get to 20k this summer. So if you do enjoy my content, please do hop over at some point. I can't breathe today. I've got crazy hay fever. Please do jump over. That'd be great. And subscribe to Football Yannick. There'll be a link in the description, or you can just search Football Yannick on YouTube. Let's go. Right. Let's take a breath. Right then, Chelsea Football Club. What happened this week, says the Athletic. Well, let's find out. Let's do some stretches. Chelsea went a significant step closer to selling one of their players they want to move on, and this, of course, is Joao Felix. The transfer deal sheet revealed last week the club's asking price was 50 million euros. Them serious peas there. And they have managed to secure that with Saudi Pro League Al Nassr. An agreement was reached Sunday, which is, of course, a couple of days ago now, which will see Al Nassr pay an initial fee of 30 million euros and should be completed soon. But we know that 30 million euros can reach 50 million euros. So the initial fee could be up front, the money up front. It's an interesting transfer as we've been reflecting on here. It's a 2-year deal. He's 25. I think he's just popping over there. This is what I think. I speculate. I guess. To go play with Ronaldo for a bit, his international teammate and presumably GOAT. Hang out with him, score some Saudi goals, have some fun, and there is a law, and this is a British law, but maybe European as well, I don't know, that once you've spent 2 years in Saudi Arabia, you don't have to pay tax on that money you've earned. On Monday, which was yesterday, the Athletic revealed that Chelsea are on the verge of finalising a fee for Yorel Haaland. It is going to cost more than 40 million euros for the 19-year-old to go to Stamford Bridge. The player has already agreed personal terms. Now, that's kind of fine. Say 40 million euros, what's that, 34 million quid? So more than that. If we pay 40 million quid, or just under, the optics are better for just under, aren't they? Say we pay 38 million pounds for Yorel Haaland. I think that's okay. In this market, for a player that would represent a really significant, important signing for us. I mean, it ain't my money, but that's how I feel. What do you feel? Let me know. All right. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Mike Penders has officially joined Strasbourg on a season-long loan. The 19-year-old completed a switch from Genk to Chelsea. A deal was made last summer in June. He's going to be Strasbourg's first choice in the upcoming campaign. Yeah, it was a pretty cool announcement. He's a really good player. It's a really good loan. He'll be looking at how well Georgi Petrovic did in his loan last season, playing under Liam Rosenior. And I've been saying it, I'll say it again. Gosh darn it. Mamadou Sarr's going back. Good centre-back. Ishe Samuel-Smiths, I guess, he's going. I don't know what's happening with that deal. But, Moreira's there. Sure, they've lost Santos, but they've gained, Petrovic. But they've gained Penders, whose ceiling is supposedly much higher than Petrovic. And Paez as well, who's a bit like Santos, a bit of a wonder kid. He needs time to settle in Europe. But they could have a really fun team over there in Ligue 1. And of course, now they're on a European tour with Liam Brasilia. They are playing in the Conference League, which is probably right in the sweet spot for their level. I know they were fighting for Champions League for a while, and they would have loved that financially. Would have caused some rule issues with Chelsea, but apparently they had something in place. I forget what the name is, but there's like an agreement, a sort of treaty in place that when co-owned two clubs go in the same competition, there's like a temporary split. Yeah, don't know. So, what's going on with Hato? What's going on with our other priority positions? So, Hato and Simons have become the main focus, the Dutch double, as we've so affectionately come to learn this double deal. However, this does not mean Chelsea's spending in the summer is over. Plenty of time left in the transfer window, and Chelsea have itchy feet. Do they want to dance, or do they just want to get to the negotiation room? I don't know if there is a negotiation room at Cobham. Maybe there is. I mean, these guys, they probably need a whole room for negotiating. The club's stance has been consistent since acquiring Liam Delap, Jamie Gittins, João Pedro. More players could arrive if other players are sold. Just on that quickly, I'm okay with this. This whole, perception of, Chelsea are vulgar, they trade loads of players, it's a gross model, don't you want a team you can, connect with? Sure, it would be nice to just have, a golden generation and just stick with those forever like we had in, the late noughties, mid-late noughties. Real Madrid, when they did the three-peat in the Champions League, you have this core of players that you love, and yeah, fine, but I don't mind this model while it's working, while I still feel personally connected to Chelsea. I'm starting to, feel more connected to Enzo Maresca as a coach. We've got the, quote, untouchables. We've got players we're looking forward to. It's fine until it's not, as far as I'm concerned. It's the model that makes them money. It puts them in a position where they can choose from a vast portfolio of players they own, and they're like, yeah, man, he's good. Let's play him. Or they want him. Does he make them that much better? All this, yeah. It's unlike Chelsea to sell to rivals in the old regime. But, while it's kind of working and, we're developing and trending in the right direction, I'm sort of okay with it. Each to their own. It's a game of opinions. Chelsea continue to work on that front, as well as expect several more departures, which would raise significant revenue. They are certainly in the market for someone to add to their attacking options. Yeah, people have tallied up the money Chelsea can make from sales revenues. It's a lot. We might do a video or a portion of a video covering that later down the line, trying to tally up all them P's that we've made. It's a lot of cash, dude. So, let's take a deep breath. Let's talk about Garnacho together. What positions are Chelsea still looking at? There have been two consistent names on the wish list of the attacking areas for a long time. So this is aside from Simons and Hato, defender and attacker. And Simons is an attacker. I know we'll see him play as a sort of pocket inside midfielder player, but he's not necessarily like a striker / conventional wide attacker. So the two names we have been looking at are Alejandra Ganacho and Morgan Rogers. Now, for me, Garnacho is a wide transitional player, running in behind, chaos agent, merchant, and Rogers is a little bit more of an inside player, so it confuses me a little bit how they're the two, but they don't look like identical profiles to me, so I'm a bit like, what's the plan here, boys? Garnacho is the easier of the pair to acquire because Manchester United want to sell him, whereas Aston Villa, as explained above, want to hand Rogers a new contract, so that would have been in the Villa segment we didn't read. The different scenarios could mean Garnacho would be cheaper to buy too. Yeah, well, they need to buy to sell. There's talk about Jackson one way, Garnacho the other, which would be a historical, and it wouldn't be a conventional swap because you don't get those. But it would be a historical deal, and a deal where both sets of buying fans are upset. I mean, like, that is like, no one, like, in terms of fan bases, nobody wins. Although I think if you really had a big boy sit-down conversation with United and Chelsea fans, United fans would recognise they get a lot better with Jackson than Chelsea do with Garnacho. And this is not me slagging off any players. You guys know me. I think Jackson's really, really good. I think his value is really high. I think he represents an excellent signing for Chelsea. I think he could be an amazing striker. It's not that, but United fans don't want him, and Chelsea fans don't want Garnacho. Garnacho has some red flags, off-the-field behaviour. I could talk a little bit more about him in just a second. Let's just skip past this segment. Chelsea would not have maintained their interest in the 23-year-old this long if they thought there was no chance of it coming. He's 20. Garnacho's 23. No, he's not. Is he? He's 21. He literally turned 21 this month. Oh, Morgan Rogers. Sorry. But before we talk about leaving players, let's just talk about Garnacho. Yeah, so he is 21. He's been around since he's, 18, 19. He is, he's a high ceiling player. I will absolutely tell you that right now. There is a great deal of self-belief in Alejandra Ganacho, otherwise he's not scoring that overhead kick, which is, there is some allure about that, isn't there? Like, there's that main character energy, which can be both a blessing and very much a curse. It can be a curse, it very much can be a curse. And, we've got a really good team spirit. Do you want to bring someone like that in? And at the same time, he's a kid. He's just turned 21. He's been playing Premier League football for years. He needs to, he will inevitably grow up. Is there an argument that you'd say, let's be fair to this lad? He scored goals. He does run a lot. He's been playing in an absolute turgid sewage level Manchester United team. He still runs into the channels. He's still, whenever they play well, he's this sort of, like I say, chaos agent that's always involved. In many ways, he's a little bit like a chaotic, not that they play the same at all, because they don't. He's a bit like chaotic Noni Madueke, as in, whenever Chelsea was trying to attack in games, Noni would always see the ball, slow the game down, speed it up, try and take his man on, and he'd be seeing a lot of the game. Garnacho would be seeing a lot of the game, but always being that, that runner for French. Always making the opposition defense go, oh God, what's this kid doing? He's nuts. Do you know, he was never just floating by in games. The data would represent that. Obviously, he hasn't got crazy goals and assists, but there is definitely something there. And of course, these Chelsea directors who are much maligned, who are slowly gaining trust in some quarters again, they will know what there is in Garnacho. Napoli looked at him. There's a couple of other teams. He reportedly wants to stay in the Premier League. I think it's maybe Villa, probably Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to sign Garnacho. Sorry! Or at least there's I feel like there's a 52% chance we do. So, let's talk about exits, shall we? Here on the deal sheet. There are still plenty of players. Plenty of players that could leave Chelsea before the deadline, but some might be easier to move on than others. For example, just like 12 months ago, Chelsea are struggling to offload England international Ben Chilwell. No club has come in for the left back yet. This kind of breaks my heart. Young Chilly B, not so young now. I mean, a lot younger than me, but I championed his signing over the likes of Alex Tellers, Tagliafico, some other man that was since flown away into obscurity. And he was excellent for us, Chile. Great player, great young man, great representative of Chelsea. And I think, certainly this was the mood 12 months ago, that Chelsea are being really gentle. And they're being a bit more considerate with him than perhaps others, which you could say is fair or unfair. But they've probably recognised how he's been a great servant and he's a great citizen. But he's just not a profile that matches. Many of you will be saying, oh, but Cucurella has been playing this role where he runs forward and holds the width. Just like Gusto did on the right in the, Club World Cup final. Chile could do that. And in theory, I agree, but he's on massive wages. Maybe they just don't think he's as technical as Cucurella, and they can't condone it. I don't know, maybe. Let's move on. Chelsea have set the asking price for the Albania striker Armando Bria at £25 million, which is, at one point, they wanted 50 plus. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he's on half that now with his injury problems. The transfer deal sheet last month revealed that Stuttgart and Leipzig are among the clubs interested. So he still has the streets, Armando Broja. He's still, I think, if he's fit, he starts for Albania. Up top, he's still a young striker. He's still profiled really well as this sort of, Diego Costa vibe. Like, he's a bit Liam Delapy, actually, when fit. So if a team guys him at 25 million, like, we can keep Armando Broja fit. That could represent a great deal. Several clubs have inquired about Chelsea player Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who apparently we will only consider for a permanent sale and will demand a fee in excess of £30 million, or the fee we paid for it, maybe not in excess, the fee we of course paid Leicester. I mean, if you get your money back on Kiernan, you're doing really, really well, I think. You make a book profit, of course, after a year. He won the Club World Cup, playing as a bit part role. He won the Conference League, playing as a bit part role. I don't think he ever had any injury problems. Probably didn't play enough for that. Good young, professional. Yeah, maybe. I think even if it's 5 million less, people probably snap him up because he could be a good Premier League operator, I think. Fulham are considering making a move, apparently for the aforementioned Dewsbury-Hall, which isn't mentioned here, but for Raheem Sterling. Chelsea do not want to loan him out again and are looking for £20 million. Mate, if you get £20 million and don't have to subsidise his wages in any way, hot diggity dog, you sorted out what is a big problem. I'm not going to spend lots of time speaking on Raheem because, it's pointless, but he was an amazing player. He could still have a career, yada, yada, yada. Nico Jackson is not up for sale as such, but could go if they get a big enough offer, which we assume's, north of 65 million quid, more than doubling our money on him, basically. As reported from last week, Christopher Nkunku, Christo, mon gars, mon ami, will leave if a team pays 50 million euros, which is 42 million quid? We spent about 50 million quid on him, kind of fine, really. Renny Vega, valued at 40 million euros, is wanted by multiple Champions League teams. Now, this doesn't shock me at all. Vega came in, he conquered in many ways. He started competitive games from Portugal out of never even playing for them. His move to Chelsea, and probably indeed his loan to Juve, was a massive success. I said before, I was kind of hurt that he ditched us 6 months in after seeming like proper one of the boys, like really impressive, intellectual, multilingual, really like tough, like combative. I was like, yeah, Chelsea player. And then he's like 6 months in, cool, I'm going to leave. I was a bit like, but fair enough. Like, he's not a Chelsea starter, I suppose. And the dude just realised he was running hot and he was like, yeah, my career, this is the time. And because he is a smart kid. So, good luck to him. He's going to make us triple our investment. So, all's well that ends well. Meanwhile, Kendrick Pires is, of course, expected to go on a season-long loan to Strasbourg. He will take up the last of 3 slots available, of course, as Mamadou Sarr and Penders have already gone there. So, there's a segment here on Hato, who we believe is the next one in line to actually be signed. Marc Cucurella led the Chelsea squad in minutes played across all competitions last season. Red zoning. And the lack of natural alternative to him on the left side defence, of course, exposes a thinner area of Maresca's expensively assembled squad. Gusto has been deployed at left back, but is more comfortable on the right, as we know. Vega was slated to be Cucurella's long-term understudy, but he struggled to win Maresca's trust. Of course, he's gone to Juve, and now he's going to be sold. There's plenty of space for Hato to walk into, despite being a very physical profile from Cucurella. He stands at 6 foot, as do I. Hato also possesses a remarkable number of similar qualities as a left-back. He can overlap into crossing areas, invert into the midfield to help his team control the middle of the pitch. This is music to Maresca's ears, all this. Or drive into the final third, where he is a more polished finisher than most defenders. Cool. Hato can provide a quality option at centre-back. His versatility is impressive, and he has registered 100 professional appearances despite only turning 19 in March. He doesn't turn 20 till the end of next season, and he has over 100 professional appearances. You know what that's like? The guy playing in front of him, new signing, Jamie Gittins, who has got over 100 professional appearances as well at age 20 years old. And yeah, he's got loads of Champions League experience as well. So yeah, great signing. Well, hopefully Gittins and Hato. Great signings all round. Let me know what you think, guys. Comment down below. How do you feel about the exits, the incomings? What do you think happens next? Garnacho, no? Or could you give Garnacho a chance? We signed Hato, Simmons, make sales. Garnacho bowls up to act as an understudy with Gittins. Can you be like, all right, let's just give him a chance? Can you open your heart? Or is all the hearts closed? Let me know. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Guys, a gentle reminder, if you've made it this far, you obviously like my content. Please do consider subscribing to Football Yannick, the second channel, where there's daily content also. I'm over 19,000 subs, which I'm very delighted about, and we can make it 20k together. You and me. YouTube journey. Right, that's cool. That's it. Keep it locked. I will see you back here very soon. And yeah, peace.